Okay, not to be like, I use Google constantly,
Uh-huh.
but I can't make a copy of this.
You can just download every single file. That's another option. When you can do a right click on the description of the folder, and when you do a right click, one of the options is to download.
Oh, I can download. Yeah, I just was looking for make a copy.
Yeah, I mean, well, either or whatever works.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I got it.
as long as you can make the copy. Welcome, Elizabeth. Like I was telling the team, there is a link on the chat for you to open the Google folder with all the stuff that we're gonna be doing today. Don't open anything yet, but I just want to make sure you guys have access to it, and feel free to download the folder. All right, so it's 9:45. Let's start the session, and we're gonna have again teachers going in and out due to being at work, or sometimes it's computer issues and stuff like that. So why don't we start? The First of all, good morning. Thank you for being here. We're gonna do some graphing today, and we're gonna focus on mathematics for middle school. My name is David Hernandez. This is my 7th year at IMSA as a curriculum writer. Before IMSA, I was in the classroom close to 18 years teaching math and physics to middle school, high school, and some college. And I love math and I love physics, and it's something that unfortunately for a lot of students is tedious and it's boring and that kind of stuff. So we always try to make it fun, make it unique, and pretty much connect what we teach into a real life situation, which is the reality. So that's something, just a little bit about me, and I'm gonna go just real quick. If you could just introduce yourself to the group, name and what you teach, and the school that you teach at. All right, let's start. Whoever, Natasha, if you want to start.
Hello, I am Natasha Shimura. I teach at Lions 103, and I teach computer skills, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Okay. Whoever wants to go next, it's okay. There you go.
I'm Preston Shimura. I teach at Lions 103. I teach math 7th. I have taught math 7th, 8th, 9th, and 12th.
There you go, Preston.
I'm Debbie Nelson. I teach science and math at the John C. Dunham STEM Partnership School. And I'll be going back to my home district next year in Batavia.
Oh, good.
And I'm Lydia Gillis. I teach STEM or STEAM to middle school students at Cambridge Lake Charter School.
Perfect.
I'm Liz Coletta. I teach at the John C. Dunham STEM Partnership School also.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming. And why don't we start? So if you open your folder, okay, we're gonna open, pretty much section by section. So we're on, so we make sure we go with the same flow, and you can see the outcome of it. So at this point, if you, I'm gonna need you to open 3 things. Okay, we're gonna play a little game. Okay, to start, let's make this interesting. So on your folder, you will see the one that says Graphing Solutions Game. It's like a picture. So if you can open that up, okay, and just leave it open on your screen if you want. Okay. Also, we're gonna need 2 more files. The one that says mathematical dice. Mathematical dice. Okay. So again, just if you want to kind of leave them open, leave them minimized. And the last one that we're gonna need for the starting, it's the graphs stop cards. Graphs stop cards. So we're gonna need those 3 files right now. We're gonna play a game. Okay. Now at this point, okay, just because we wanna debrief, after we do every activity, I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes to play this game. Now, how we're gonna play this game? As you can see the game, okay, what do you notice about the game? I'm gonna start shooting questions. Debbie, what do you notice about the game? About the board game?
It looks a lot like Chutes and Ladders.
Yes, correct. What other piece of information can we get out of the game? Natasha? So it's like a regular game, right? That we know. Well, some of our kids maybe they won't know, but because they're too young. But anyway, what other information do we get out of the game, Natasha?
There are places where we need to stop
Okay,
and maybe do something.
exactly. What do you think we're gonna do, Preston?
Roll the dice.
Yes. So what do you think we're gonna do with the stop symbols? What
think
else do
we're-
we have?
I think we'll probably use the stop cards.
Exactly. So every time you go into a stop symbol, you're gonna get a card. Okay, and the card is gonna be just pretty much information. Okay. Now, on the files, you have the whole sheet. If you're gonna do it in your classroom, obviously you're gonna print it, cut them, okay, and then just leave them, just like a regular game. I didn't want to do that because otherwise, when you have to print it, you will have to print a bunch of pages and a bunch of stuff, and it's just a waste of paper. That's why I place them like that. So like I was asking you to make a copy, because this way you already have the template, and whatever information you want to insert in those cards, you can just replace it. So that's what I did, and want to make it too complicated for you guys to utilize it right away. Okay, so those are the cards. Now, when you play the game, okay, it's only 6 of you. So I mean 5. So you're gonna play, solo. You're gonna play by yourself today, and then we're gonna debrief. But in your classroom, you can have a group between 2 and 4. Depends on whatever you want to do. So now we have those cards, and now you're gonna pick a card every time you get into the stop sign, and the kids will discuss. Okay, we'll discuss the information. It's not just like take a card, blah blah blah, blah and move on. It is the discussion. I always try to attach mathematics to speech, to research, to conversation, okay, and to collaboration. You can be the smartest person in the world. If you don't know how to communicate and how to work together with other people, you're gonna have a very hard time dealing with mathematics and pretty much anything in life. So it's something that they need. A lot of people, okay, believe that you don't have to do anything. Well, it's just a number, and the numbers are numbers, and that's it. We need to connect that to the real life, okay, real life situations. So that's why collaboration, and they need to talk. They need to talk to each other. All right. Now we're missing something: the dice. Okay. Now, if you look at your the folder that says mathematical dice, you will have some what? What do you see on those on the folder, Lydia? What do you notice? What it says mathematical dice.
Equations.
Okay, equations. Maybe
Symbols.
problems, right? Math problems. And more than likely are gonna be order of our operations. Okay, remember the order of operations?
Okay, yeah.
What comes first? Remember the song,
Mhm.
my Ann Lydia, Ladia, whatever. What was the acronym?
PIMDAS, I don't have a song, but PIMDAS, parentheses.
There you go. Yep. And believe it or not, that's gonna stay with us, So you're gonna have another operation. So every time, and instead of using the dice, okay, you're gonna take a problem. You can do it mentally. You can do it, on paper. You're gonna do the problem, and every problem you're gonna end up with the number 1 through 6. And guess what? That's gonna be your dice. Okay, whatever number shows up, that's how many spots you're gonna move. All right, and it's gonna be the same rules as as snakes and ladders. You can go up or you can go down.
And so the concept is if they get it wrong, then they just move
Well,
incorrectly.
I mean, if they get, let's say that you take a problem and you end up with a 24, more than likely that's wrong, because remember your die is what, 1 through 6, right? I mean, that's
Okay.
and we're assuming that it's only one die, so it has to be a number between 1 and 6. All right, so but that will be your dice. Once again, it's mathematics in a fun game, and more than likely it's gonna be engaging. I take mathematics. So for example, when somebody's like, let's go swimming, we'll just swim for 10 minutes. And instead of going to the gym for 2 hours, it's only 10 minutes. But in reality, you work out a lot more in those 10 minutes of swimming than 2 hours at the gym. It's the same situation here. We're gonna play. It's just fun. But in reality, we're taking a bunch of standards in consideration. Okay. So how about if I give you, I will say like about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, 5 to 7 minutes. Take one problem at a time. Oh, they're all mixed up. Okay, so take one problem at a time. You can take, from top, bottom, or whatever. Take one problem at a time. Okay, and take a coin or, whatever you have available, and then just move around. And then we'll do briefing like about, I'll give you 10 minutes. So at 9:05. Okay, 9:05 or so. I'm sorry, 10:05. 10:05 or so, we'll go back and we'll debrief. All right. Any questions before we go?
So we don't have to start at 1. We just start wherever our first math.
Whatever you
problem
want. I mean, the game you will start at, at 1, right? I'm at 0.
Okay, just making
Yeah.
sure.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right, let's play. Actually, Natasha and Preston, you can actually go to the same room if if you want, and you can actually play. Yeah. 1 minute left. All right, if you could just finish the one that you're working on, and then we go back to the debrief. All right. So David, Liz, and Lydia, if you can join us back in the main room. So tell me about the game. What do you guys think? Feel free to leave your mics open if you want.
I like how students had to do math to be able to play the order of operations. It was good practice.
Perfect.
Yeah, I did all that. I was gonna say that.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Although that will also be depending on the kid's level.
Yes.
That'll be frustration. But as long as they get a number between 1 and 6, I just kill them, keep going.
Yeah, and we're gonna, Lydia, that's a very good point, and we'll talk about how we can manipulate this for other levels. Natasha, what do you think?
So Preston and I actually didn't play the game. We were discussing how to alter it for our own uses. So I was thinking more of a back pocket thing for me, since I teach computer skills, and doing a digital citizenship game where they come up with the questions, sort of to fill in the game, and probably use real dice for my class. Preston?
And I was thinking this was going to be very similar to a project I was going to do right before spring break, in which they design a board game. But I haven't thought of, I've always used things like Sorry or Trouble or Parcheesi. I never really thought of Chutes and Ladders, and I never really thought of the idea of doing order of operations with this. So I'm thinking I might expand that project a little bit into other areas. I really love the stop signs thing, the stop signs and the discuss. I've never had that on this project. I really want to add that to my own project.
Yes, and we're gonna also talk about how we can utilize that feature. Liz, what do you think?
I like the fact that they had to, they got to select which one they wanted to compute. So I think a lot of times with student choice, you get more buy-in in that regard. And then also they could even write their own
Exactly.
expressions to solve.
Yep.
So I thought that was cool.
Perfect. Yeah. So I mean, when you look at manipulation, I mean, if you go to like I don't know, first grade or second grade, you can do 1 + 1. I mean, as simple as that. You can just represent with manipulatives. 1 block + 1 block. How many steps you're gonna move? Whatever. So definitely with elementary school, 4th grade, we can always take take from 52 from 300, or whatever, or vice versa. I'm sorry. So again, you can always manipulate the numbers, because it's just the numbers. So back in the days, it was a worksheet. So if you give the kid those 12 problems, or I don't know how many problems I placed, let's assume that it's 10 problems or 12 problems. Back in the days, that would be a worksheet. Do 10 problems for homework, or whatever, and that's it. By just changing exactly the same problems, by just changing the approach of those problems, they're more than likely gonna be engaged, and it's gonna be fun for the kids. Doing exactly the same 10 problems that we used to do on a worksheet. I mean, that was the difference. something that the president mentioned about the stop cards. You can place any information on those cards, anything, any topic. So like Natasha, teaching computer science kind of thing. I don't know much about, computer, like computer science per se. So, fun facts, history. I mean, this would be a great game for history. Do you know that, the Romans, wow. And once again, it's a talking point. It's a discussion point for the kids. I mean, and again, it's just a plain and a simple, graph, that you're gonna utilize. So yeah, definitely, feel free to change. That's what I asked you to make the copy, because this way you can change it, you can do whatever, you can print them. If a printer color is an issue, color printer, do black and white. I mean, it's a plain and simple. That's why I did arrows. But yeah, so you have the template for the cards, you have the template for the game, and you have the template for the dice. You can manipulate it. You can, and now if you want to go to high school, or even higher, so if you have a friend who teaches algebra or anything like that, you can actually replace those problems, those order operations problems into an x and a y. Find the slope. Oh, the slope is a 3. Okay, so I moved 3 spots. Okay, so I mean, find x. X is, I don't know, 6. Okay, so now same thing. They're solving the problem with the purpose, of the game. So it's not, again, it's one of those, it's one of those hidden techniques, that we can utilize, no problem. Okay, perfect. So that was in the game. Anything else before we move on from the game?
I was
We're good?
just going to add
Yeah.
that even if you wanted to teach social studies information,
Oh yeah.
it would be fun to keep the order of operations dice and throw them off guard and kind of get math, like make that connection with whatever skill they're working on in math. It's a way to integrate.
Oh yeah. No, and actually, if you spend a little more time, and let's again talk about history or humanities or anything like that. The problem could lead you to a 1952, the year of whatever. You know what I mean? Or I don't know. You could be a date. It could be a time. It could be a region in the world. I mean, you can take it anywhere. But yeah, it's key. Those cards are key. Now, you can actually, since you have the template already, you can just replace the cards, the stop cards for, I don't know, whatever information you wanna give the kids to, history time, or I don't know, whatever stuff, book time, reading time. I mean, whatever the grade is and whatever the concept is, you can manipulate that. But now you have the template, so you can use it on Monday. All right, perfect. So the next part, okay, now, before we go to the next part, what type of information do you obtain from those cards? What kind of information did I provide on those cards?
The types of graphs.
Types of graphs, yes. Any kind of well, you guys are educated, so you know all the stuff, but something that maybe you were not aware of, some information that you're like, wow, really? Is that so? Anything like that?
Maybe
Nothing new.
Cartesian. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I don't know that I learned something new, but I liked the cards that pointed out how graphs can be misleading, and that could be on purpose
Exactly.
or by mistake, but also on purpose.
Definitely. Yep. Lydia?
What did I say? Oh, Cartesian. It took me a minute. I was like, wait, which graph is that? So with the plane.
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
'cause
and
I don't teach math every day. So
yeah, no, and it's something, again, I wanted to to place information about graphs, because the next activity we're gonna actually do some graphing. So if you go back to your folder, okay, if you go back to your folder, I would like to open, for you to open the one that says data description cards, the file that says data description cards, and the file that says graphs and data tables. So if you could open those two, and we're gonna play another game. Now this time you're gonna have some graphs and some, data tables, as well as some descriptors. So you have some descriptions. Your job is gonna be to match them. Match the description with the graph or the data table that matches that description. Okay. Any questions so far?
Just
Before we-
matching the cars, no need of dice and roll and all the stuff.
No, no,
right?
no, no,
Just-
no. Nope.
Okay,
No, just the two files. You have your cards, you have your description, and you have your either data or chart. Okay, or graph. I'm sorry. So your data chart or the graph with the description. You just have to match them. Okay. Any questions? All right. So why don't we take another? I would say like about 7 to 10 minutes. Let's see if we can match 'em. Take your time. Any luck, Natasha?
Sorry, what?
Any luck
Any luck?
matching those graphs?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can match
Okay.
it.
Perfect.
This is taking a lot more mental energy than I expected. Like, this is not, I like your graphs because they're really way more in depth, way like matching them. I know kids will try to match them really quickly. And then you can just go, hey, you need to look again. Because does that
Exactly.
actually say that? I like these. I like your choices here a lot. Like the first one I looked at and like everyone sort of matched, but only one of them matched perfectly.
Exactly.
I like the choices there.
Yeah, and it's just and those are like real, real graphs, real data and stuff. But you just have to like, delete a lot of the stuff. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it's obvious. So if for example, if you had the year and you're talking about years, oh, this is year. Well, but if you don't know what a year is, so yeah, you definitely have to remove the labels, and the titles. But
Yeah,
but that's the whole point, to actually analyze, the data and the description.
I was gonna say Charity Party is a bit more of a fun game, but
This is fun.
this is mentally tiring. But I think the kids will be okay. I think the students will be good with it. But
Oh yeah, and just wait for the next part, so hopefully we can finish it. But this is gonna be the cherry on top of the cake. Let's put it that way.
I'm really liking this.
Perfect. So in like about a minute, if Debbie, Lydia, and Liz, if you want to join us in like about a minute, let's just discuss some of the graphs. Well, first of all, let's like the kids, right? What's the answer? What's the answer? So let's start with the answer. So what number? Let me ask you this: what number do you think belongs to the letter A? A is an apple. What number belongs to that group?
So I'll just draw. Did that one not have a number?
I was thinking it was 5.
A is actually 4.
4.
4. Let's see.
So A is 4.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. Oh wow, my thing jumped to my jump thing to the wrong page immediately. I didn't notice
So
that.
So I have a question. Is that the so on when I copied the graph and data table card, I don't have a 4. So is that the first picture? Like I don't, unless I can't see it, I don't
You
have
don't have a number 4?
I have mine's the first one doesn't have a number, and then I have 7, 9, 10, 1, 3, 8, 2, 5, 6. So I think 4 must be the first one.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, so the 4 just goes in the bottom corner. I'll edit it. Well, I don't know if I can edit it. Yeah.
You will, because you downloaded.
Okay.
So you should be able to do
there
it.
it is. Like I said, there we go.
There you go. So okay, and we can go back to it. But so the A is 4. How about B? What number belongs to B?
Apple B was also 4, but clearly that's not right.
And they're tricky. I mean, they're tricky. I mean, obviously, because we're doing it for for a middle school. Now we're doing it in 10 minutes. In reality, this will take 45 to 50 minutes. I mean, it's a 7. Yes. So B is 7. How about C?
I think that's 9, right?
9. Yes. How about D? That's in David. How about number 10 for D?
Okay, I was gonna say 10.
Okay, good, Lydia.
That was my last one though.
How about E? What number belongs to E? How about number 1? Yeah, good. How about F? What number belongs to F?
Is it 3? 'Cause that's the
3, yes, good.
one. Okay.
How about G?
You did give us the answer somewhere, right? In case we got these wrong for like. for the kids.
No, don't worry about it. So G is what? 8. G is 8. I know where I'm gonna give you all the answers and everything, so don't worry about it. H is what? 2. Yeah. All right. How about I? 5. And last one. This is gonna be a tough one. The J. 6. Yes. Perfect. All right. Now the last file that I asked you not to download. Okay, those are the student pages. I'm sorry, the teacher pages. So those are gonna be all your standards, what you need to do, you know, how to approach it, extensions, all the good stuff. Okay, so that's why I didn't ask you to open those, because otherwise we'll take away the aha moment. Okay, but all that stuff, all the stuff that you need for your lesson plans, you will find it right there. Okay, implementation, what to do, you know, how to approach it, all that good stuff. Okay, now I was talking to Princeton about the graphs. They're not that easy. Okay, they're close to it, but not really that close. Now it will take a little time, okay, for you to actually, you know, find the source that you want to use, and you know, just cut and paste and all the stuff and manipulate and all that. But at the end, it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it because again, you know, I'm pushing you guys for 10 minutes. This is an hour. This is a talking to each other, you know, all the stuff, gallery walk. You know what I mean? This is a huge activity for collaboration. Okay, so it's not something that that you can just, you know, like you guys, I'm pushing you for, you know, less than 10 minutes and analyze data and all that stuff. The only thing that you have to be careful is whenever, you know, you do a description, make sure it's at their level, at the reading level. So if you're looking at, you know, 4th grader, make sure, you know, 4th grader will actually, you know, be able to do it. This is for middle school. So I had to cut a lot of the proper, you know, high level grammar or whatever, just to make sure they understand. Because again, and many people will disagree. Many people could be like, no, you know, they should be able to read at that level. What are we assessing right now? I'm not assessing grammar. I'm not assessing reading. I'm assessing numbers. I'm assessing descriptions, big picture. Okay, so again, it depends on your, you know, your students. You know, depends how you wanna you know, manipulate information. But in reality, something very, very important that we usually forget. Usually educators forget, you know, including me. I was in the class for many years. We forget, what are we assessing? We get caught up on, you know, some other stuff that you're like, really? And when you grade papers, you're like, why are they getting it wrong? Because we're asking the wrong thing, or you know, we're approaching it the wrong way. So yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, we have to like go back and you know, refresh and be like, okay, what are we assessing? Especially if you have a 45-minute block. You know, if you have a 90-minute block, well, then it's different. But between, you know, well, not snow days anymore, but you know, between, you know, stay at home and between this and that and the state test and all the stuff, when you look at it, how many actual days, like full weeks, do you have? Very few to start something from start to finish. So we have to be very, very, very cautious about what do we need to assess. Okay, what are we assessing right now? Right now, we're just assessing that area. Okay. So I'm just gonna talk about the last part because we're done at 10:40, so we have 6 minutes. The last part, and unfortunately, we're not gonna have time to do it. But at this point, okay, David mentioned something very, very, very good at the beginning when we were talking about the cards. The next part for the students is to take one of those cards, okay, one matching pair, analyze it deeply. So whatever they caught, their attention, like, oh, about this or about, the traveling or whatever, right? Whatever caught your attention, okay, you're gonna take that card, those descriptors, and you're gonna create a misleading chart, misleading information. So I wanted to for you guys to use like PictoChart or any kind of, I know that the devices that you guys have, most schools have already like how to do flyers and posters and that kind of stuff already built into it. So any program that you want to use, okay, any program that you want to use, but the question will be, take any card, any cards, okay, any pair, and create. We're not gonna lie, but we can actually mislead, right? If you take a specific chunk of the data or the graph and create a flyer, poster, something for they to explain to us, okay, the information that they want us to see. Once again, not lying, not giving the wrong information, but misleading, and that's what the purpose. Once again, what's the purpose? For the kids to actually analyze every single aspect of the chart or the graph. Okay. Again, I wanted to do that with you guys, but we have only 4 minutes left. So, but what do you think about that? Give me your feedback.
That's definitely something I can use because I'm
Yep.
teaching them how to make flyers and stuff. So I can definitely use that. Have to think about it more though.
Yes.
Yeah, and I like it because they like to make posters and things, whether they're online or
Yep.
regular posters. But this will make them not just put a poster together, but actually have to analyze what is the message you are saying
Exactly.
in a poster, and it's supposed to be misleading, if you will.
Yeah, and actually the information that on the cards were about like traffic and about patterns of people going to work back and forth, whatever. But when you get the information that the specific information you want the kids to, I mean, it could be, I mean, I don't know, sell me a car, sell me a popsicle, I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean? Like whatever the topic is, so they can see the connection between mathematics and real life. Why in the world, Pepsi or Coke or whatever said, they have the data to be like, we I don't know, create 50 million jobs. Okay, out of how many? Out of or what areas? I mean, once again, it's like how, especially marketing is huge. It's funny when you look at the prescription, and then you have like this prescription that is gonna, I don't know, do whatever. But then they're like, well, if you're allergic to this, do not take. If you're allergic to this, if you're gonna end up with this, if you're gonna end up with no arms, if you're gonna end up with this, whatever side effects, don't take it. But it's really good. So it's just like, again, they have to say it. I mean, it's part of the of the law, right? That they have to state what some of the side effects could be or whatever. But again, it's marketing. Like huge increase of 20% between January and February. Well, yeah, but out of how many? I mean, when you look at the big chart or the big graph, you're like, well, that's not a big increase. That's like this much. But once again, so no, I think that's a pretty cool just way for the kids to if they're gonna, if one of the things with the graphs is that they could be misleading. I mean, that's everywhere. Not just big companies. I mean, anything could be misleading. By chopping different situations. So I think we're out of time. Anything else before we wrap up? Anything else before we close the session? Good. Okay.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you.
I hope you like it. Again, it's gonna be very fun for your kids, and you have all the templates. Feel free to share them, whatever with everybody. And then I have 2 more sessions later on today, so this afternoon. So hopefully I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot
Hey,
for your
David,
time.
we can email, we'll be able to email you, right? I just want a couple of
Definitely,
clarifications.
definitely.
Okay, on
Yeah,
the game.
definitely.
Okay.
You can email me. I think you have my information. If not, I'll put it in the chat real quick.
Is it in
before we-
is it in that one file told us not to open?
I'm not sure if I put it in there, but I'll put it in the chat right now.
Okay, thanks.
There you go. So it's D Hernandez, so D as in David Hernandez with the number 1 at IMSA.edu.
Cool, thanks.
Okay. Please go back to the main room, and if you want to fill out all the CPU stuff and information stuff before you go to the next session, so it will be a lot easier for you guys. All right. Once again, thank you for your time. All right. I'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Thank you.